Well, there you have it. A walk of life. Kick off a bit of Dire Straits for your Saturday morning with Ryan Gomez on an hour of power and leadership. Well, here we come to this part of the time where we speak to our very special guest on the program, LOZAUS1. You know, since YouTube has exploded since it first launched in 2005, it created a lot of opportunities for people to upload videos for the world to watch. And some have even made careers out of it. And today we have a YouTuber on the show who produces video from the start to finish at home. Full-time? Yes, full-time, right here in our very own city of KC. He's none other than a very good friend of mine, LOZAUS1. Lawrence, welcome to an hour of power and leadership.
Thanks, Ryan. It's an absolute pleasure to be on the show.
Thanks for coming on the program. I'm just amazed and by the success you're having with YouTube, but we'll get into that a little bit more. But in saying that, Lawrence, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, I'm married. We have 5 kids between us. My interests would be, I would say, probably number one would be movies. Both myself and my wife, actually, we're quite movie buffs. And, of course, movie making. One of the other important things is spending quality time with our kids. We just love, but they're sort of getting to that stage now that they're developing their own lives, so that's a bit of a challenge in itself.
Yes. And you know, it's quality time, and you know, it's great, isn't it, when you have this quality time with your family and with your friends. And I always say this: it's about your faith, your family, and your friends, isn't it? It's amazing when you have these three together.
Oh, it definitely is. It makes a big difference in your life, doesn't it?
Yes, and so you've tell us. Before I touch on what exactly on YouTube, your YouTube, successful channel you have on YouTube. You live in the city of KC, right?
Oh yeah, I just lived. I actually live just off Tinks Road. To any viewers out there that might know, just off the Monash Freeway.
Oh,
in Narre Warren. So yeah.
Awesome. And look, I came across, I've known Lawrence for a little while. We've been good Facebook friends, and I caught up with Lawrence, I think it was last week. And, you know, I was amazed by some of the success you've had on YouTube and creating it full time. What is your philosophy in life? So before we even get into that, what is your philosophy in life? What are some of the things you really believe in? You know, I talk about passion, I talk about purpose. You know, people say, but you can't make a living from your passion. You can't make a living, but what is it? You know, I say to people, you've got to work on your passion. It's important while you're doing what you're doing out there, working on your full-time job, doing what you're doing out there. It's constantly about working on your passion as well, isn't it? So in saying that, what is your philosophy, in life?
Which one do you want me to mention? I have many. Just ask our kids.
Anything?
No. In all seriousness, I think the main one would be, to anyone out there listening, don't be afraid to be yourself and be true to yourself.
Yes.
A lot of people out there do try to follow the trend of what people are like, and sometimes they are a bit afraid to be unique. There's nothing wrong with being unique. After all, we all are unique.
Absolutely.
Work hard and chase your dreams. And if you catch them and it's what you're passionate about, do it to the best of your ability. And it's so true. If you actually do something you're passionate about, the chances are you're going to be very good at it. You will end up becoming an expert at it.
Great. So let's go through your entrepreneurial journey. How did you, tell us a little bit about your journey itself.
Okay. Well, it all started when I think if we go way back to the very beginning, just for a second, it all started when I saw The Empire Strikes Back when I was 12 years old.
Yes.
The next morning I woke up and I knew what I wanted to do, and that was animation. I wanted to do stop motion. I wanted to work in movies. But back then in this country, there wasn't much of a platform to get started on. If I was living in some place like Los Angeles, it would have been a hell of a lot different. But that was sort of set aside. I ended up getting into other things. I did dabble in stop motion for quite a few years, up to about the age of 16.
Yes.
moved on into cars and everything else you do with your mates, and
Yes.
got married, had some kids and everything. And then 3 years ago, I found myself, I've always had that interest in stop motion and always had that interest in movies. And one day, I was lying in bed, I was looking up at this Spider-Man action figure my wife had bought me as a present, knowing the sort of kid at heart that I am. I have lots of toys, even at my age. And I thought, geez, I wonder if I can just make a stop-motion movie. I haven't done this for quite a few years, or quite a few decades, in fact. So the next day, I looked up on YouTube to see if it had been done before. And like anything in life, everything has always been done before.
Yes,
and I think that's what puts people off about trying something, because people have already beat them to it. So for the next 4 months, I put together this video, and I asked all our kids if they can be a part of it. And
this is at home, right? Yeah?
Yeah, it was just right in our house, just using various rooms and pretty much working on every Friday afternoon. I would knock off work early, come home and just put a couple of hours into it. After about 4 months, I put this movie together, got the kids to act in it, and we just uploaded it on YouTube, and just it took off from there. The rest is history, I suppose.
Awesome. Let's come back and talk a little bit about your YouTube channel. Let's go to a short break and be right back. Stay with us, Lawrence.
Okay.